Well, President Biden sending thousands of servicemen and women to Afghanistan, but what do they think about the handling of the fall of the Afghan government, those that have served? Joining us now to discuss is Sam Peters, retired U.S. Air Force major who served in Afghanistan. Good to see you, sir, and thanks so much for your service. If I could just get your overall reaction as you, as well as thousands, tens of thousands, millions, quite frankly, around our country are sitting back watching what's unfolding. What goes through your mind?
Yeah, thanks for having me this morning. You know, I've reached out to some of my compadres, the folks I've served with, and in fact, my father, who was a Vietnam veteran around the time of fall of Saigon, and it's just we're shocked, absolutely shocked on what's going on. And I can go back a couple of weeks when we departed Bagram Air Base in the manner in which we did, and giving up that strategic stronghold where we've operated in and out of for the last 20 years. It's been crazy. It's just been incredible. And you know, again, there's a lot of shock. There's a lot of dismay. There's anger and frustration. And you know, 3 days ago we were seeing headlines that up to 5,000 troops were going to be sent in to protect those that are coming out. My question this morning is, after seeing video of people clinging to C-17 aircraft on the Kabul airport, where are those 5,000 troops going? And what exactly are they going to do? Because the airport's gone. We just gave up Bagram, again, our strategic stronghold. My thoughts and the thoughts of the folks that I've served with is, how safe are our troops? How are we getting them home? And where are they? And when is that going to happen? This is a total travesty. One of your previous guests, Amy Tarkanian from here in Nevada, mentioned the 25th Amendment. We're there. I'm running for Congress. When I get to Congress, if President Biden hasn't resigned, which I think he should, one of the first things I'll do is deliver articles of impeachment, because this and all of the things that are happening in America are absolutely disgusting.
The Congresswoman from New York, Claudia Tenney, has called on the 25th Amendment to be invoked should the president not resign. Obviously, I know politics plays a part. She put this out on her Twitter. It seems to get a lot of traction. Sam, I want to share this with you. Secretary of State, the former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in the Trump administration shared this. He said the Taliban are butchers. We demanded a set of conditions and made clear the costs we would impose if they failed to deliver. They haven't. The deterrence we achieved held during our time. This administration has failed. And I saw him on the Sunday shows this weekend, and he had this very tough stance that if you do anything and put any Americans in harm's way, we will attack. That hasn't been the messaging that we've seen. We still haven't heard from the Secretary of State, Defense, the President, the Vice President, the Press Secretary at this hour in regards to what's unfolded in Kabul. Do you agree with Pompeo?
I absolutely do, and this administration is absolutely vacant. The fact that they're on vacation right now, and Jen Psaki has put on her auto email saying she's out of the office. This is absolutely embarrassing for our country. Our leadership in this administration, they all need to resign. They all need to go and turn this country back over to competent people to run this. It's putting not only Americans overseas in danger, it's going to put Americans here in the United States in danger. The policies of the southern border, we have people coming from all over the world to flow through our southern border because of the incompetence and the laziness of this administration. I absolutely agree with Mike Pompeo, and I'll tell you what, the setup and what's going on in Afghanistan right now, the atmospherics of that, and just the way the world is going to look at America in the near future is dangerous for all Americans, especially our troops overseas. And it's incredibly unfortunate.
Give me some of your final thoughts on this as we move forward. Obviously, 9/11, 20 years, less than 30 days away from that. We see what's unfolded in America's longest war. 20 years, it completely crumbled. The Taliban has taken over. We've had a discussion with a previous guest that said the Taliban doesn't just end when they take over Afghanistan and then they stay in this bubble. They continue to spread. Do you see the Taliban gaining more ground, getting stronger, and getting even more dangerous than they already are, or perhaps even bigger threat than they were 20 years ago?
Yeah, so I do. They're going to grow. They're going to take over that country, as they already have. The reason, if you remember, the reason we went over there was to stop the terrorist breeding ground that we were facing. The folks that were chasing, the people who attacked us on 9/11. It's been 20 years. We spent 20 years in a country basically raising or in part raising the generation of 18 and 20-year-olds now. And those folks are going to take this the hardest because they've begun to learn a Western way and enjoyed some freedoms that they're no longer going to have. The Taliban are barbaric. They are a tribal organization, and they live in the Stone Age, and might rules, and they're going to rule by might. And it's, again, from the perspective of a veteran who served and the people I've served with, it's a tough thing to swallow. It really is. And to watch folks clinging to a C-17 aircraft. 10 years ago, I arrived in Afghanistan, and one of my first duties and responsibilities with my team was to load American heroes in caskets onto a C-17, and to see that this morning is absolutely disheartening.
That's how out of control it is. There is no you can't ignore the facts. We have the video of it, people clinging to the side of a plane as if it were a Mission Impossible film. And unfortunately,
shame on this administration. Absolutely shame.
Is the reality of it. Still awaiting word from the White House and where we stand today. I appreciate it. Sam Peters, great conversation with you. And again, thank you for your service, Sam.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.